Hello, Kristen here from Healthy Place once again. In this video, I want to speak about the difference between normal stress and anxiety. When I'm talking about anxiety, I'm talking about an anxiety disorder, because I know that often we use the word anxiety when we're talking about stress. And I want people to know that there's a real difference, so that if you know somebody who's going through anxiety, they're not just stressed and they may need that extra bit of help. So when I'm talking about people who suffer anxiety, I'm talking about people who probably fall into 4 categories. You've suffered with your anxiety condition for a long time and you struggle with it on a daily basis. You're okay most of the time, but you suffer anxiety some of the time. And then you were perfectly fine, but something happened to you that made you an anxious mess, which is what happened to me a while ago. And you are okay, but you have panic attacks. So you don't really suffer with anxiety on a day-to-day basis, but you break out in panic attacks frequently or infrequently. I think the main difference that I want to talk about here between stress and anxiety is that we all go through stress, yeah? And you're able to feel stressed about your daily problems and then sort of calm down and move on from them. But the person with anxiety, it actually changes your mindset so that you start to fear really unthreatening situations and you start to panic about things that you don't need to worry about. And no matter how many times people tell you that it's going to be okay and that there's nothing to worry about, you're very fearful in your own mind, and it's really difficult. You go to a psychologist and they'll talk about how anxiety is there to actually help us. So if we need either flee or fight in a situation, and our anxiety is there to protect us. But when you have an anxiety disorder, that's sort of out of whack. So you start to fear things that you wouldn't normally fear. And I think people can often get frustrated with people who are anxious all the time because they're like, what are you stressing about? But it's so much more than that. Does that make sense? The other thing is you can experience all these physical changes, like your heart's beating all the time, you've got a lump in your throat, your chest might hurt, you're sweating. A lot of the time you can't eat. I know some people can overeat and some people can undereat, but it's common to not feel like eating when you've got all that going on. So that can obviously make you tired. So you feel drained all the time. So be patient with the person that doesn't want to hang out or they're tired all the time if they're experiencing this, because it's hard to go through. Another thing is people can often feel down about themselves, feel low self-esteem because they can't complete everyday tasks like other people can. So when you're really anxious, it's really hard to do basic things, and they'll feel bad about themselves because so-and-so can do it and I can't. But if you're going through it, you need to give yourself credit for those things that you do, because it's so difficult to do them when you're anxious. Don't beat yourself up, and you're not alone, although you may feel alone. There's a lot of people who go through this, and you've just got to seek help. That's what I would encourage and recommend. Surround yourself with supportive people and get some professional help too. Although I was really anti-doctors and medication at one point, I would recommend seeing a doctor, talk about your condition, and maybe see a psychologist, with just somebody to talk to. Although I never found like a psychologist I really connected to, I still recommend them, because why not go and talk to somebody who doesn't know you and they can give you tips and strategies. There's psychiatrists too, there's support groups, there's natural medicine, there's lots and lots of help out there. Just start looking and get some help and support around you, and that's what Healthy Place can provide as well. Lots of resources on Healthy Place. A couple of things before we wrap it up. Some things you can just do at home that cost nothing, just nothing hippie or new age, just lying down, deep breathing, meditating, and that will calm your anxiety. When your breathing calms down, you start to calm down. And exercise, although exercise for me has always been a chore. If you're experiencing anxiety, it can help so much. It really does get those endorphins going and can help you feel better. Just exert yourself. Go for a little jog and just, exert yourself so that you get those endorphins. I think that's all for today. It's been great to reach out to you all again. I'm Kristen from Mental Health for the Digital Generation, and speak with you next time.